This scene was clearly seen by the Yaogui spirit in the distance. In the ruins, a tentacle broke through the ground. The previous Yaogui spirit unexpectedly revived, and at this moment he has been completely transformed into an evil collective. Just as he gradually adapts to his own body, two Yaogui spirits suddenly appeared behind him. Claiming to be a Yaogui spirit produced from human experiments conducted by Ghost Mother, it is indeed powerful, although currently classified as only B level. But its growth attributes are extremely high. The Yaogui spirit in front of us has a total of 9 lives. Each time it is revived, its abilities will greatly increase. The last life, with strength close to S level, has attracted 2 Yaogui spirits, a C level holding awake and a B level ear rat. The abilities of the 2 Yaogui spirits are similar to clairvoyance and keen hearing. The purpose of this trip was originally for a human, but they accidentally encountered the Yaogui spirit in front of them. The Yaogui spirit from the Wu division happened to be short of members and wanted to recruit the Yaogui in front of them. However, this Yaogui is quite arrogant. He laughed loudly with a mocking tone on his face. But in the next second, Ear Rat disappeared on the spot, with just one move causing the Yaogui spirit in front of him to lose its head. A trace of Yaogui aura drifted out from the Yaogui spirit's mouth. Not long after, the Yaogui spirit was resurrected again. Ear Rat threatened by the side to join us, promising to put your head back on. If you resist again, I will throw your head into the sea. Yaogui spirit pretended to comply, but after reattaching his own head, he cunningly launched a surprise attack on Ear Rat from behind. After losing 2 lives, he successfully defeated Ear Rat in holding awake. At this moment, Yaogui spirit has also been upgraded to level A. He confidently holds Ear Rat's neck with one hand and proudly says, "I have decided to join you too. But you must at least tell me the name of your leader and the head of this organization." He turned out to be Su Yeqiao's enemy Bowen. Tang Ka returned home, feeling fortunate that the mother of the little boy unexpectedly knew reincarnation techniques. This gave the little boy a spiritual consolation, and the mission can be considered accomplished. But Tang Ka was full of worries at this time. He lay in bed for a long time, unable to fall asleep. Since childhood, Tang Ka has been living with his master. The master lied and claimed that Tang Ka was found at the doorstep of the martial arts school. This man regards himself as both a teacher and a father. Tang Ka does not understand why the master would hide his own background. After returning home with serious injuries, Xinyu Xiao did not immediately tend to his wounds. Instead, he bathed and changed clothes before going to the portrait of his master, burning incense and kneeling in front of it. He claimed that his disciple met an important benefactor today, whose destiny holds the aura of an emperor. "I will assist him well, and he will surely fulfill your lifelong aspirations." The legendary Brahma seal appears out of nowhere. A crisis is looming in this world. Commander Han Longkui of the Yaogui City Division, Lusong City Branch, and others welcomed a guest, Langting, the spirit city leader of Zihuai Hall, the 9th. Recently, there have been increasing large-scale casualties in various cities. If we don't come up with a solution soon, the existence of Yaogui spirit will be discovered by the citizens sooner or later. So Han Longkui wants to ask the 9th to help him make a special Yaogui spirit prop. And on another note, we need to wait for the leader of the hidden atelier of the Dao, Li Yichuan, to arrive for a detailed discussion. The 9th was also somewhat surprised to learn that Lord Li was planning to come out of seclusion. The fact that Li Yichuan needs to step forward indicates that this is not a trivial matter. Han Longkui mentioned that the project this time is called Spiritual Realm. There is the prominent spatial technique the 9th, with the assistance of the Yaogui spirit. Surely it can double the results with half the effort. At this moment, Li Yichuan arrived at the scene. The 9th politely bowed deeply. The contrast between Li Yichuan's carefree and casual personality fits perfectly. This incident not only poses a crisis for the Yaogui City Division, perhaps it could endanger the entire human world. Because this is related to the third world Brahma seal. Just as Han Longkui was about to reveal the details, the 9th quickly stopped him, saying that he himself had no knowledge of the level of the Brahma seal matter, and the Bureau of Ranks and Regalia needed help. He then excused himself and took his leave. Although Han Longkui fully believes the 9th, he tells the 9th not to worry about those rules and regulations, but she was still rejected. The 9th claimed that humans can live peacefully with us Yaogui spirits, and those rules and regulations are crucial. He then left the scene immediately. This situation also left Li Yichuan feeling helpless. Han Longkui brought Li Yichuan to a depth of 19,800 meters underground. Through a rigorous character scan, 2 people arrived at the underground secret room, the dark walls in front of them surging with dark gold. In this small area, the bagua directions are neatly arranged like movable type printing. Han Longkui stated that the core energy of the Brahma seal is composed of the spirit aura of the ancestor of the hidden atelier of the Dao, and the Yaoguai City Division monitored that the energy values remained unchanged from start to finish. But on the 3rd day after Tang Ka broke into the Brahma world, the energy value dropped by 0%, but immediately returned to its original value. This matter is indeed very strange. According to the rules, the ancestral master's secret technique is eternal, and regardless of the duration of time, the spirit aura core should not undergo any changes. However, Li Yichuan stated that this matter has nothing to do with Tang Ka. The Brahma seal is used to seal the demon spirit Yaoguai, and Tang Ka was able to come out of it because he was classified as a human. The girl's physical condition at that time should also be human. The specific reason can only be known by seeing the real thing. Only see Li Yichuan slowly walking up the steps, instructing Han Longkui not to move in place. How much impact will the spirit aura of the Brahma seal have? Li Yichuan unlocks the seal with both hands. His whole body emits a golden spirit aura as he focuses his energy with both hands. The golden light gathers and disperses, creating a dazzling display of yin and yang energies. With a loud shout from him, "In front of my eyes," the formation starts with the Kuan trigram. Rising word by word, it rises straight into the sky. The massive formation condenses in the sky. With the sound of a machine cocking, a dazzling light illuminated the entire space. A huge spirit aura pressure made Han Longkui struggle to breathe. The legendary Brahma seal emerges as Li Yichuan steps on the Kuan character, approaching the Brahma seal step by step. He immediately activates his golden nether eye. He clearly perceives every blade of grass and every tree in the Brahma world. Li Yichuan's face turned serious and he instructed Han Longkui to quickly notify the highest leader of the spirit hunting organization. "You do. There is a guy in the Brahma world who is trying to break through the barrier. It has already created a very small gap. Fortunately, it has been repaired by the Brahma seal on its own." Li Yichuan broke through again. "Instruct you to notify the entire Yaoguai City Division in the 12 provinces to be on high alert. Li Yichuan will stay here to cast spells and reinforce the barrier." In the Brahma world, the headless Yaoguai spirit finally broke free from its cocoon and spoke to the Yaoguai spirit kneeling before it, saying, "The target is already hooked. Colleagues outside, prepare to act. Within 2 days I will lead you out of the Brahma seal. What plan does it have? Please continue reading." At midnight, a beggar drank to satiate hunger and saw 2 copper clappers in front of him. Thinking he had drunk too much, he took a closer look. All of a sudden, a deafening voice rang out. The beggar was instantly crushed to pieces by the sound waves. Bleeding from all 7 orifices, the sound waves grew stronger and stronger, brutally crushing a living person into a pulp. The wanderer was trapped within the artifact. While controlling this artifact was the Yaoguai spirit, hidden far away. And it feels no guilt at all about harming others. At this moment, the mischievous imp, as if suddenly discovering something, immediately enters a battle mode. And flying in from afar are the ear rat with the recently resurrected Yaoguai spirit. The Yaoguai spirit is now named Lei Mischievous Imp, chattering incessantly, taking Lei to see the Lord, claiming if it weren't for the Lord wanting to see you, you would have died outside. The more he emphasizes, Lei becomes more interested in seeing the Lord. Several people entered an abandoned factory. In this factory building, there were unexpectedly 7 powerful Yaoguai spirits. The Lord has been waiting here for a long time. Pan, who looked at the Yaoguai cat in front of him with some disdain, not believing it could be of a level. The salamander on the side was also joking around. Lei suddenly felt that although there were only 6 people in front of him, there was the murderous intent of a 7th person. The wooden beam overhead said that it was only here for the good view. "If you do not pass the Emperor's assessment, I will kill you directly." Lei faces the threat, completely unbothered, with a defiant look on his face. At this moment, Ear Rat activated the Yaoguai aura to carefully investigate the plants and trees within a radius of 1 kilometer. He did not find any electronic devices or any humans capable of spirit aura. After Ear Rat confirmed this, Night Star threw away the cover in his hand. But the hidden object turned out to be a children's telephone in the shape of a small frog. In the phone, the voice of the king faintly came through. "Nice to meet you. I'm Bowen. I hope you can join us." In Lei's opinion, meeting in this way shows that Bowen is a very cautious person. Bowen said. The person on my right is the director of the Garrison Affairs Bureau. His name is Pan Hu. Classified as upper class A level according to the hierarchy of humans. If you manage to kill Pan Hu, you can join us. On the contrary, if you are killed, we will bury you properly. As soon as the words fell, Pan Hu jumped in front of Lei with a fierce gleam in his eyes, claiming that he had heard you had also been promoted to A rank after your resurrection. Couldn't be better to have a real fight with you. Lei at this moment looked puzzled. Claiming that there are only 7 people here? What is that red light shining through the wall behind the little yellow person in the middle? Upon hearing this, Pan Hu was greatly surprised. How could they have evaded Ear Rat's investigation? Could it be that there are hidden experts from the Yaoguai City division? He quickly ordered Ear Rat to investigate. But this is just Lei's lie. At this moment, Lei's hand has already pierced through Pan Hu's body. The arrogant and domineering Pan Hu from the previous second was pierced through his body the next second. But how could the Yaoguai spirit, who is the director of the Garrison Affairs Bureau, die so easily? Lei could not pull out the arm inserted into Pan Hu's body. Pan Hu's muscles surprisingly firmly bound Lei's arm. At this moment, Pan Hu's Yaoguai aura has dramatically increased, shining fiercely in his eyes like a disaster star descending. He grabbed Lei's arm, feeling a strong sensation of corrosion. Lei's arm was rapidly swallowed by Pan Hu, with the skin peeled off to reveal bare white bones. Frightened, Lei quickly ditched his arm to protect himself. Surprisingly, the flesh and bones from the arm that was detached were absorbed by Pan Hu into its body. The injuries caused by the sneak attack now appeared as good as new. At this moment, Pan Hu pounced towards Lei like a hunter. Lei, who didn't dodge in time, was grabbed by the ankle. The power of corrosion came again, and the flesh on the shins quickly fell off, almost turning into a forest of white bones, completely absorbed by Pan Hu. Lei also began to feel a sense of crisis at this moment. He originally thought that he could defeat Pan Hu as they were both A-level, but now he knew he was wrong. I didn't expect that there were different levels within the A rank. Moreover, the difference in strength between the lower and upper levels is unexpectedly significant. At this moment, Lei's mind is completely blank. Faced with the aggressive Pan Hu, there is only one thought in his mind: escape. Pan Hu's powerful killing intent is suffocating Lei. Even though Lei has just recently become a monster. Faced with such a formidable opponent and lacking combat experience, Lei is at a critical moment of life and death. Lei instinctively forces himself to recall the newly acquired ability. At this moment, Pan Hu's steel-like fist had already come in front, landing a direct hit on Lei's head. Before Pan Hu could react, Lei's lower leg was already severed. But at this moment, Lei did not die. Instead, he regained his composure and declared that as long as he used his brain a little, Pan Hu would not be able to touch him. Just as he finished speaking, Lei dispersed like a colloid, fleeing towards the distance. When he gathered back together again, his severed limbs had already regenerated. At this moment, Lei finally realized that when he was killed and revived, his instinct was to break free from the ruins at the first opportunity. Thus, he gained the ability to turn into liquid. And the second time he was beheaded by Ear Rat, he wanted to reattach his head to his body, so he gained super recovery ability. As he continued to fight Ear Rat and the big-eyed monster, he died once again. When he revived, he was thinking about how to improve his combat power. As a result, his body could harden and transform into any weapon. So every time he resurrected, as long as his desires were not too exaggerated, he could choose new abilities for himself. The current situation is a perfect practice opportunity for Lei. It is no longer just a simple life and death duel. It is Lei's first trial to become a strong warrior. Only to see Lei's face with an evil smile, hardening his own arm. The next second, Lei directly pierced through his own skull. The Yaoguai spirit in front of them wants to gain new abilities. He actually pierced through his own head. Pan Hu watched Lei's actions, which seemed insane. The mischievous imp also instigated Pan Hu to quickly swallow the person in front of him. But Pan Hu is not someone who takes advantage of others' vulnerabilities. He calmly waited for Lei's resurrection. With a touch of spirit aura spreading out like fireworks, Lei completed the resurrection. The next moment, Lei covered Pan Hu like a cloak. Pan Hu could immediately see Lei's new ability. Similar to himself, yet different. At this moment, Pan Hu also displayed his true abilities, with dark purple runes covering his entire body. With bone horns growing on his head, Pan Hu's momentum has reached its peak. Strong hands reaching towards the ground, crimson eyes gazing forward, a dark purple aura mixed with intense killing intent, a posture as if to tear the enemy apart alive, facing Lei's devouring power head-on. The two are devouring each other. Pan, who remained unfazed as Lei covered his entire body. In the moment when they both wanted to devour each other, the collision of energy created a huge energy ball, and an implosive explosion occurred. The spirit aura between the two is too tangled and chaotic for Ear Rat to even sense who is gaining the upper hand. The mischievous imp can't help but feel a little worried at this moment. But your majesty is full of confidence at this moment, declaring Minister Pan, who as his confidant. He used to be the superior King Pan above all others. As the energy cluster explodes, the ground collapsed into a huge pit, and within this collapse, Pan, who firmly grabbed the meatball formed by Lei, shouting, "Are you convinced, little mouse?" At this point, no matter how Lei squirmed, he couldn't escape from Pan, whose palm. The son of this ghost mother willingly concedes defeat. The Lei spirit aura in front of me is depleted, and unless I am reborn again, I will not be able to fight again in the short term. Pan, who is just waiting for your majesty's command to get rid of the Yaogwai spirit in front of me. However, your majesty claims that your ability to resurrect will greatly help us in the future. You are qualified to join us. I, Bowen, can ensure that your practical combat experience will become richer and richer. I can also provide you with a place to stay. Lei naturally acquiesces and agrees on the surface to join, but deep down, he secretly resolves that once he becomes stronger, none of them will survive. Looking back at Tang Ka has always kept Zhuang Xiaoran's desire to become a member of the Yaogwai City Division in mind. He then decided to start teaching Zhuang Xiaoran how to use the spirit aura tomorrow. At this time, Xinyu Xiao was meditating on the balcony of his own home to heal his internal injuries. After a few weeks, Xinyu Xiao still greatly admires Tang Ka's strength. Although he has refined his inner elixir to the upper level, it will take a week for the injuries in his body to fully heal. Xinyu Xiao intends to test his luck for safety reasons. He calculates by finger counting. It turned out to be the pi hexagram, falling into a deep pit. This hexagram indicates that it is inauspicious to stay in Lusong City 5 days from now. There are ominous signs. Upon second thought, with Tang Ka present, even the biggest problems can be resolved. With Lei joining in, Your Highness has started to assign new tasks. The target is the hidden atelier of the Dao, and the leader Li Yichuan has already been restrained. Now we are implementing the second step of the plan, targeting Li Yichuan's prize disciple Tang Ka. The magical artifact is called the Songhu Bell, with the ability to awaken the powerful Yaogwai spirit from its slumber. His Majesty instructed Salamander through the children's phone to act according to the plan. Salamander then opened its frog mouth, revealing a golden light inside. A spherical magical artifact appears, which Salamander grabs. She swallows it and smiles happily. I will guarantee its safety with my life. The monarch arranged to have this magical weapon delivered to the designated coordinates, while the mischievous imp was responsible for finding another gathering place. As for the others, they remained on standby. Just as the meeting was about to disperse, Lei couldn't contain his impatience and said, "Since I have already joined in, at least let me know the purpose of your existence." The monarch replied, "Originally, it was meant for Pan Hu to tell you. Since you are eager to know, I will tell you directly. Our purpose of existence is to eradicate humanity from this world." The call ended abruptly, leaving Lei puzzled. Lei felt unwilling to ask Pan Hu about the strength of the superior. However, Pan Hu was unsure and said, "Since the superior chose you, as long as you behave well, I will treat you as a colleague. No one will give you a hard time." Lei turned to Salamander and asked about the purpose of the bead just now. Although the mischievous imp blocked and did not believe Lei, Salamander didn't mind, stating that the magical weapon in their belly is called the Songhu Bell, which belongs to another branch of our department. We have painstakingly found a total of 3, which can awaken the ancient Yaogwai spirit sleeping underground. This type of Yaogwai spirit can reach the upper level of Class S, and although it may not always obey the superior, it can help us achieve our goal of creating chaos. And they can reduce the target's combat effectiveness. Lei finds it hard to believe that so much effort was spent just for one person. Is this person really that powerful? But according to the intelligence from Ear Rat, it seems that even if we add up all the Garrison Affairs Bureau, we still can't beat them. But Ear Rat cannot analyze the specific strength either. In Salamander's view, the target must not be as powerful as Your Majesty. Salamander smiled and said that there is one very important thing to emphasize. Just as Lei was fortunate to be able to obtain more information, a sudden sense of fear burst forth from the heart. I feel like I am being watched by a giant sea monster in the depths of the ocean. as if I could be devoured by its abyssal maw in an instant. After he realized it, in front of him was still the smiling little salamander, claiming that he had accidentally released the Yaoguai aura just now. But what he just said was all classified information. If anyone affects this plan, I will not hesitate to eat them. After being terrified, Lei felt that Bowen's appearance was ominous, his strength was ominous, and even his voice was altered with a voice changer. His identity was hidden so well that even if one knew his name was Bowen, there was no way to track him down. But the goal of this organization made Lei extremely excited. I will definitely step on their bodies to become the new king of this world. Just when Lei was full of wildness, his own murderous intent was sensed by others, and the uncle warned Lei to be careful not to play with fire. And this stranger uncle is Ear Rat. At the same time, Salamander also turned into a little girl. Now with their current disguise, it's more convenient for them to move around in the city. The rest of them also transformed into human appearances, including Panhu Wooden Mischievous Imp Nightstar. The salamander took out the last spirit pouch. This is a necessary item for Yaoguai spirits to legally exist in this world. Lei puts the spiritual pouch on his chest. In an instant, he turned into the appearance of a woman. Up to this point, the 8 Yaoguai spirits of the Garrison Affairs Bureau have assembled. And Tang Ka finally allowed Zhuang Xiaoran to go up to his second floor, and the practice of spirit aura is about to begin. Zhuang Xiaoran and Tang Ka arrived at a room on the second floor. The door opened. The feeling is like passing through a water wall, cold and icy. And behind this door is a separate space, which is something that Sir Tang Ka requested for a long time before 1i5 agreed. Then 1i5 secretly sent the 9th to create it for Tang Ka. In order to repay the favor to Mr. 1i5, Tang Ka left a room for use when he comes to the human world. This space is as large as a city, and only the people that Tang Ka brings can enter. Zhuang Xiaoran heard that the 9th can easily create an independent space as large as a city, which made her admire him involuntarily. Everything in this space can be automatically repaired. After saying that, Tang Ka lent his slippers to Gene form and spirit as one. He casually flung it and smashed the ground to pieces. The tremendous force left Zhuang Xiaoran speechless for a moment. He is indeed strong. But then the damaged ground miraculously reverted back to its original state. Seeing how magical this space is, Zhuang Xiaoran is full of anticipation and eager to start cultivating spirit aura. 1 hour later, such a powerful Tang Ka. Surprisingly, he won't teach. No one would have expected that Tang Ka is actually a simple-minded, powerful individual. Although Tang Ka doesn't know how to teach, he suddenly thought of someone. Xinyu Xiao is Tang Ka's friend. It is said that the young lady wants to learn spirit aura. I came to seek guidance. The sudden arrival of a strange friend made Zhuang Xiaoran feel slightly embarrassed. The man across the room looks gentle and polite, but he always gives Zhuang Xiaoran a chill down the spine. After Tang Ka brought Xinyu Xiao over, he left the training ground. Meanwhile, Zhuang Xiaoran and Xinyu Xiao also began to meditate and practice cultivation. A gentle breeze brushed their faces, and Xinyu Xiao's lecture began. In simple terms, spirit aura is a kind of energy that flows at a certain point in the body. For ordinary people, their lifespan and health are closely related to it. In the 17th century, a philosopher mentioned a theory called animism. Also known as the theory of animism, even a stone or a piece of wood is believed to have a spirit. After speaking, he took back the bouquet of flowers from Zhuang Xiaoran's hands. I only saw this flower wither quickly in Xinyu Xiao's hands. It's just because the spirit aura was absorbed. However, it can only work on plants and cannot be absorbed between humans. Plants in this world can potentially generate useful spirit aura and transform into Yaoguai spirit. As for activating useful spirit aura, it can be summarized into 4 steps. Fan Qi Lian Zhu. Fan refers to the ability to evoke useful spirit aura. Qi refers to being able to manipulate spirit aura for cultivation. Lian refers to harnessing one's unique abilities by cultivating spirit aura. Zhu means obtaining unique abilities, and then training to upgrade them to more powerful levels. Cultivation needs to start with ordinary methods first. Only by cultivating can you find a way to effectively stimulate Zhuang Xiaoran's spirit aura. It means that Xinyu Xiao transfers a little spirit aura to Zhuang Xiaoran to let her feel it carefully. Just then, Xinyu Xiao slowly sat down behind Zhuang Xiaoran and began to slowly transfer the spirit aura into her body, but the next second, a powerful impact sent Xinyu Xiao flying, and a trickle of blood oozed from his mouth. Xinyu Xiao was actually injured by Zhuang Xiaoran. Xinyu Xiao clearly felt the powerful Yaoguai aura bursting out from Zhuang Xiaoran's body just now. Even though her injuries have not healed, the fact that this Yaoguai aura could shake her indicates that it is not ordinary. Xiaoran quickly inquired if Xinyu Xiu was severely injured. She truthfully revealed her own condition. Xinyu Xiu heard that Humanoid Xiao is an S-level Yaoguai spirit. He couldn't help but feel pleased. If this young girl learns spirit aura, she might be able to borrow the power of Humanoid Xiao. It will definitely be a great help for Tang Ka to become an emperor in the future. Xinyu Xiu said, Miss Zhuang, now that you are a human spirit symbiote, mastering spirit aura will be much simpler for you than for the average person. Ordinary people must have guidance from masters and possess extremely high talent in order to practice. It would take more than 3 years like this, but Miss Zhuang only needs 3 days. Zhuang Xiaoran was happy to discover her hidden potential. Xinyu Xiu said, we need to figure out why Humanoid Xiao woke up again first. Previously, Tang Ka clearly sealed Humanoid Xiao's mind, but in the battle at Inkwashing Manor, Humanoid Xiao once again took over Zhuang Xiaoran's body. This is also what Zhuang Xiaoran has been trying to figure out all along. Xinyu Xiu naturally has a way to know all of this but needs a drop of Zhuang Xiaoran's blood. After adding another one to oneself, then Xinyu Xiu activates the Mingxua Heartgua. Unconsciously, tears actually flowed out because he found out. There are 2 Yaoguai spirit consciousnesses in Zhuang Xiaoran's body, originally only sealing the consciousness of Humanoid Xiao. But the consciousness of that child already exists. The ability of the blood-hearted Gua can see fragmented memories of the other party, so Xinyu Xiu knows the existence of that child. He is called Su Yeqiao, and he became Humanoid Xiao only after being betrayed by his close friend. But Xinyu Xiu is not sure about the specifics of what happened. She only knows that his close friend is called Bowen. In conclusion, the resentment of Su Yeqiao has been sealed, that is Humanoid Xiao, while the original consciousness. But it was accidentally separated from Zhuang Xiaoran upon hearing this. She couldn't help but worry that her body might still be taken over. But Xinyu Xiu said there was no need to worry. If Su Yeqiao wanted to, she would have taken over long ago. Now it seems that Su Yeqiao even more wants to hide in Zhuang Xiaoran's consciousness, and does not want to appear. And he comforted Zhuang Xiaoran saying, everyone has their own fate. The relationship between you and him will eventually be resolved. Xinyu Xiu also learned about Zhuang Xiaoran's past. He keeps using these past events to hurt Zhuang Xiaoran repeatedly. With Xinyu Xiu's harsh words, Zhuang Xiaoran was successfully provoked as well. In a fit of anger, Zhuang Xiaoran once again revealed the appearance of Humanoid Xiao, but this time her consciousness was very clear. So everything Xinyu Xiu did was to help Zhuang Xiaoran learn Fan more quickly. Sure enough, Zhuang Xiaoran has indeed embarked on the right path as Xinyu Xiu judged. In the aquarium, Night Star has just received a secret report from His Majesty instructing Salamander to set out tonight when they are all waiting for the opportunity. Danger is approaching Lusong City. All members of Night Watch Hall are mobilizing. In Lusong City's harbor under the bright moonlight, the sea is as calm as a mirror. Yaoguai spirit Salamander holds the Song Hu bell in hand, determined to take action. She leaps into the sea and transforms into a salamander as she enters the water. The speed suddenly increases, quickly heading towards the destination. Inside a hidden bar, the 7 remaining members of the Garrison Affairs Bureau sat together to celebrate the implementation of the second step of the plan. Both this bar and the location Salamander went to are Your Majesty's assets. And at this time, Salamander arrived at an offshore drilling site. I didn't expect Your Majesty to be so wealthy. And the reason he chose to awaken the land at the well site is to avoid suspicion from the Yaoguai City Division. But Panhu has one thing unclear. Your Majesty has always been secretive in your actions. Originally, the Song Hu bell had 3 gems, which were already very precious. But why awaken the Yaoguai spirit named Humanoid Xiao? Zhuang Xiaoran is still practicing diligently. At this point, the progress far exceeds Tang Ka's expectations. She only needs 3 days to awaken her abilities. 3 days later, Zhuang Xiaoran woke up from her meditation. At this moment, she only needs to focus her attention. Powerful spirit aura can emanate from the body. Such a strong momentum. In theory, one can awaken very powerful abilities. But after the golden light disperses, Zhuang Xiaoran, however, did not feel any change at all. Xinyu Xiu said that as long as Lian awakens, it is impossible for her not to use her abilities. The only possibility is that there needs to be a triggering time. As night fell, Zhuang Xiaoran shed all her exhaustion. Just as she was showering, she suddenly disappeared without a trace. Even Tang Ka's use of the golden nether, I failed to detect any trace of spirit aura. Just as everyone was puzzled, Zhuang Xiaoran stumbled out of the bathroom and immediately lost consciousness. Not long after, Zhuang Xiaoran regained consciousness. Tang Ka speculated that Zhuang Xiaoran's ability should be the same invisibility ability as Carbon Elder. But Xianyu Xiao does not think so, upon careful analysis. Xianyu Xiao concludes that Zhuang Xiaoran's ability should be borrowed. And the triggering condition is precisely touching the other party. After that, he asked Tang Ka to give Zhuang Xiaoran his hand. But nothing happened when the two made contact. Immediately, Xianyu Xiao let Yaya try it too. But this time, Zhuang Xiaoran's hair turned out the same as Yaya's. She can use Yaya's abilities. But the next second, Zhuang Xiaoran fainted due to insufficient spirit aura. When she regained consciousness again, everyone has determined that Zhuang Xiaoran can only borrow the power of the Yaoguai spirit. Moreover, it's not just one kind, which means that one can simultaneously use the abilities of different Yaoguai spirits. The trigger condition is physical contact. As for the duration of use, it depends on the size of your own spirit aura. However, the ability to store several kinds of abilities and the duration of using each ability requires repeated practice to know. At this moment, Zhuang Xiaoran suddenly had a strange feeling and quickly got up to run towards the balcony. She clearly sensed a terrifying aura coming from a distant place, likely from a very powerful Yaoguai spirit. Upon hearing this, Xianyu Xiao realized the previous ominous hexagram, tiger falling into a deep pit. It will appear tonight. An offshore drilling platform, the calm sea just now is now surging with waves. Suddenly, 100-meter-tall wave shoots up into the sky. A giant creature the size of a small mountain appears in people's sight. This behemoth has not been guided by Salamander yet. It then headed straight towards the Yaoguai City Division Command Center in Lusong City. A level 1 alarm sounded as the danger level has exceeded the S level. The strength of the Yaoguai spirit is at least at the mid-level S. Predicted arrival time in the city area is 7 hours and 45 minutes. It would take only 2 hours to reach the land, leaving the residents in coastal areas and suburbs no time to evacuate. Commander Han Longkue made a prompt decision. Bureau of Punishment and Prisons quickly contacted Night Watch Hall. Night Watcher belongs to Langting, one of the 4 major halls of the Spirit City. Night Watch Hall is in charge of the prison security of Langting, the Spirit City, including major emergencies caused by Yaoguai spirit in the human world. They also control the secret transportation method of the Brahma Seal. Each province has 6 teams with a total of 12 people, with 2 people in each team. Each person is personally selected and given a name by the hall master of each province. Due to shuttling between Yaoguai City and the human world, Night Watcher have a special status. After becoming a Night Watcher, they must wear a bronze mask, which is a symbol of their identity. In addition to being the deputies of each hall master, Night Watcher can be considered as the strongest fighting force in Langting, the Spirit City. The zodiac formation suddenly appeared in the sky, and all 12 Night Watchers of the Night Watch Hall gathered together. Facing the colossal creature before them, the Night Watchers stood their ground without panic, each seasoned from countless battles. Confronted with the towering monster, the eldest brother sent his 9th sibling, named Suji, to investigate. Swift as lightning, Suji left a dark green arc in the sky and appeared in front of the Yaoguai spirit in the blink of an eye. His body started to decompose and expand, falling into the water. He unexpectedly grew to be the same size as the Yaoguai spirit and politely said, "Although I am unaware of who disturbed your rest, could you please return to your original place? I assure you that from now on, no one will disturb you." However, the Yaoguai spirit in front of him did not respond and continued moving at its original speed towards Lusong City. Suji determined that the entity in front of her was likely a Yaoguai spirit without consciousness, so she had to resort to using force to stop it. She raised the shield on her left arm, a fierce-looking shield with green-faced fierce teeth, and forcefully collided it with the Yaoguai spirit's body. Immediately, the shield emitted waves of impacts, continuously forcing the Yaoguai spirit to retreat back into the deep sea. This action thoroughly agitated the Yaoguai spirit, prompting it to raise its hand into a fist. It struck Suji, who was as solid as a rock, causing him to fall backward in a tumbling motion. The enormous figure lunged towards the other Night Watchers. Everyone analyzed that Judy's shield couldn't withstand it, and other individual attacks were also ineffective. With such a large volume, even using the heavenly stems and earthly branches lock would still require about a minute. The order from the Yaoguai City Division is to persuade surrender or exile. At this point it seems that exile is the only option. Judy Suji has shrunk in size to recover energy. Although the attack from the Yaoguai spirit was grand in momentum, it did not cause substantial damage. At this time, the third in command, Night Watcher, begins to assign tasks. 11th Sister. Use techniques to try to make Yaoguai spirit lose consciousness for a few seconds. 10th Brother is responsible for assisting 11th Sister. 5th Brother is responsible for restraining the opponent's left arm. 4th Brother is responsible for restraining the right arm. 9th Brother should immediately use shield techniques to block the opponent's movements once Little Sister's technique is successful. Big Brother is responsible for channeling Yaoguai aura to strengthen and secure the blockade. 2nd Sister, 6th Brother, 8th Brother, and 12th Brother assist 7th Brother together. Complete the 12 earthly branches locked together. Triple lockdown. As long as it can trap this Yaoguai spirit for 1 minute, it will definitely be able to banish it. The banishment will begin when the third elder gives the order. Such attacks can be described as dazzling. In front of the giant beast, the Night Watchers are like fireflies in the night dragging long arcs, surrounding the Yaoguai spirit. 11th Sister Su Shimu took the lead in charging forward, drawing the sword at her waist. The illusion created by Su's ability unfolded slowly in front of the Yaoguai spirit. Waves of sound gradually enveloped the Yaoguai spirit. The giant rock Yaoguai spirit reached out towards Su Shimu, while Su Yan agilely jumped onto the Yaoguai spirit's arm. The green Yaoguai aura instantly bound the Yaoguai spirit's hands while Su's ability used the flowing molten fall technique, successfully summoning the meteor hammer enveloped in flames. The enormous force effectively restrained the attacks of the giant rock Yaoguai spirit. The Yaoguai spirit quickly launched another attack with its right hand, and this time it was Su Ryeo's turn to come on stage. Only to see Su Ryeo landing precisely on the right hand of the Yaoguai spirit and stabbing directly with the waist-mounted dagger. The vibrant trees grew rapidly and vigorously. When the flowers bloom, Su Ryeo's signature Su ability, the forbidden Yaoguai spirit from attacking. The lush vegetation and powerful roots continue to emerge from the sea, firmly binding the weakening right hand of the Yaoguai spirit. At this point, the Yaoguai spirit has lost its ability to move. The colossal Yaoguai spirit is too massive, requiring some time for it to fall asleep, just as 11th Sister continues to exert force. In front of the Yaoguai spirit, the Yaoguai aura gathers, and a shockwave targets 11th Sister, swiftly sweeping past. At this moment, a black-green trajectory arrives first after it. The person who arrives is 10th Brother Su Shi. His deliberately show-off personality inevitably invites criticism from 4th Brother. Su Shi came to the side of 11th Sister and casually crossed his legs, showing no signs of panic, because the attack speed of Stone Man was hardly worth mentioning in his eyes. Just as the attack reached 11th Sister in front of Su Shi, a faint glow emanated from the double hammers in Su Shi's hands, and his shadow dodge skill was instantly activated. A dark mist enveloped 11th Sister's body in an instant. At this moment, 11th Sister seemed to disappear into thin air. The attack from the Yao spirit went straight through her body without any effect. When 11th Sister reappeared, the spell was also completed. The massive boulder Yao spirit also slowly fell into a deep sleep. 9th Brother seized the opportunity, leaped up and summoned the shield in his hand, the green ghost shield. The fierce-looking shield divided into multiple parts, imprisoning the massive boulder Yao spirit within it. A monumental tripod suddenly appeared in front of everyone. At this moment, the unmanned aerial vehicle of the Yaoguai City Division is expected to arrive at the scene in 3 minutes. Commander Han Longkue is filled with deep worry. If even the Night Watchers fail, it will be difficult to evacuate the large population of Lusong City within 8 hours. By that time, in addition to causing casualties, it will also expose the existence of Yaoguai spirits. The human world will inevitably be in chaos. Just when Han Longkue was anxious, the 9th took the initiative to seek an audience, claiming to have a way to buy more time for Commander Han Longkue. In the area that I am responsible for supervising, it can definitely be completed within 8 hours. But at that time, Yaoguai spirit must be very close to the city, and will definitely be discovered by the citizens. However, when the 9th learned that there is a mist ability user in the Yaoguai City Division, he suggested using mist to cover the area in the direction of the Yaoguai spirit, reducing visibility. At this time, Jingxi is a little puzzled by such a big threat.